the first, I can explain the brief history of the Solomon Island. So, the Solomon Island is a nation situated in the southwestern Pacific Range, boasting a story that spans tens of thousands of years and comprises a double chain of volcanic islands and coral atolls within Melanesia. Indigenous Papua-speaking people were the first to settle this island approximately 30 years ago, followed by later migration of Australasia speakers who further shaped the cultural landscape. The initial European encounter occurred in 1968 with the arrival of the Spanish explorer Alvaro de Mendana. Believing the island held the riches of the biblical King Solomon, he named them the Island of Solomon. While various European powers displayed fleeting interest over the country, it was Great Britain that ultimately established a strong presence, declaring a protector over the southern Solomon Island in 1830. Following the war, a growing desire for self-determination emerged among the Solomon Islands. The Solomon Islands achieved independence from British rule on July 7, 1978. The national identity is visually represented by the flag of blue filled diagonally, divided by a thin yellow stripe running from the lower high side to the upper fly side. Above the division in the canton are five pointed stars arranged in a line, while a green trinity occupies the space below. Each color and symbol holds significance. Blue symbolizes the vast range surrounding the island. Green represents the fertile land. Yellow embodies the sunshine, and the five stars represent the five major island groups that constitute the nation. The national flag of the Solomon Islands was officially adopted on November 18, 1977. The spirit and unity of the Solomon Islands are further embodied in their national anthem, God Save Our Solomon Island. This anthem was introduced in 1978, shortly after the country's independence. The lyrics were written by Panapasa Balekana and Matila Balekana, with the music composed by Panapasa Balekana. Currently, the island nation has a population of around 819,198 in 2024, according to data from World Bank Open Data, with its bustling capital, Honiara, also the largest city located on the historic island of Guadalcanal. In total, the Solomon Islands consist of 992 islands that make up a land area of 28,415 square kilometers. The archipelago is characterized by rugged terrain, a tropical climate, and significant biodiversity. Its economy relies on resources such as fish, timber, and plantation crops, although these resources have been overexploited. Next, the second about religion. The majority of Solomon Islands follow Christianity, which account for about 95% of the total population. Some of the main Christian denominations in the country include the First Anglican Church of Melanesia, about 32%, Roman Catholic Church, about 20%, South Sea Evangelical Church, about 70%, United Church in Papua New Guinea and Solomon Islands, about 11%, and Seventh-day Adventist Church, about 12%. In addition, there are also communities of various other Christian denominations such as the Jehovah's Witnesses, the New Apostolic Church, which has around 18 churches across the country, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints (LDS Church). About 5% the population still practice traditional belief or local religions, passed down from generation to generation by their ancestors. The rest follow other religions such as Islam and Baha'i faith. According to recent report, the Muslim community in Solomon Island is estimated to number around 315 people. Among them are members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community who are active in religions and social activity. One symbol of the religion presence in the country is the Catholic Church in Tanagay, located on Guadalcanal Island.
Okay, so first we're gonna talk about culture. The Solomon Islands is a nation rich in unique culture and traditions that thrive to this day. One of its most astonishing aspects is its linguistic diversity. With a population of around 700,000 people, the country boasts over 70 distinct local languages, making it one of the most linguistically dense places on Earth. The first point is traditional village life and social structure. The majority of Solomon Islanders live in rural villages, where their lives revolve around subsistence farming, fishing, and communal living. The concept of custom governs many aspects of life, from land ownership to dispute resolution. A key value in the community is mutual aid or solidarity in a system called the One Talk system, from the word One Talk meaning one language. People of the same language or ethnicity have an obligation to help each other, including in work, marriage, and conflict. Refusing to help a One Talk is considered a serious customary offense. The second point is customary practices and beliefs. Traditional customs are still influential, especially in traditional ceremonies, marriage, and conflict resolution. Dowry, where the groom's family gives gifts such as shell money, pigs, or woven mats to the bride's family, is still practiced in many communities. Compensatory payments, which are often shell money or food, are used to settle disputes. Spiritual beliefs vary. Many people also have traditional animist beliefs. Some communities believe in masalai, associated with natural features such as rivers, caves, and forests. Next is art, craft, and material culture. Wood carvings are highly prized, such as on shields, pedals, and statues of both gods commonly called nguzu-nguzu, with intricately designed canoes, ceremonial bowls, and war clubs produced in areas such as Malaita and New Georgia. The tepuke, or traditional outrigger canoe, is an iconic symbol of seafaring heritage. So, one enduring tradition is the use of shell money in Malaita, where tapulie, or shell money, plays an important role in customary transactions such as dowry payments, conflict resolution, or ceremonies. Women weave baskets, mats, and bags from pandanus and coconut leaves, often colored with natural pigments. Next is music and dance. Music is an integral part of cultural expression. Traditional musical instruments used include bamboo pipes, slit drums, and conch shell trumpets. Modern Solomon Islands music blends traditional sounds with reggae, gospel, and string band influences. Dance performance, often accompanied by rhythmic drumming and singing, are held during festivals, weddings, and initiation ceremonies. Dancers wear elaborate costumes made of leaves, shells, and feathers. There are war dance such as Mi from Malaita or Be from Guadalcanal, performed in frightening costumes featuring devil masks, spears, and leaf ornaments, while some dancers wear necklaces made of dog or dolphin teeth as symbols of bravery. Next is food and traditional cuisine. Their diet is based on root crops such as taro, yams, cassava, and sweet potatoes, as well as fresh fish, coconuts, and tropical fruits. Pork is considered a luxury food, available only for feasts and special occasions. The traditional cooking method is umu or earth oven, where food is wrapped in banana leaves and slow cooked over hot stones. Next, we're gonna talk about languages. The languages of the Solomon Islands reflect a great deal of cultural diversity, with the country having one of the largest numbers of local languages in the world relative to its population. It is estimated that there are between 70 and 75 languages spoken throughout the archipelago. Most of these languages belong to the Austronesian language family, which is widespread in Melanesia and the Pacific. However, in the western and central parts of the country, there are also several non-Austronesian or Papuan languages that are structurally and historically distinct. English is the country's official language, used in government, formal, education, and legal documents. However, only a small percentage of the population is fluent in English in everyday life. Instead, most people use Solomon Islands Pidgin, an English-based Creole language that has developed since colonial times and is now a lingua franca among different ethnic groups. Each island or region within the Solomon Islands usually has its own local language, and often a language is only spoken by a particular community or village. Languages such as Gela, Robiana, Lao, and Kwayo are examples of local language that are still actively used in the communities.
Tourism. The Solomon Islands, an archipelago in the South Pacific, offers a unique blend of natural beauty, cultural richness, and historical significance, making it an attractive destination for travelers. The Solomon Islands consist of nearly 1,000 islands with diverse landscapes, including coral reefs, rainforests, and volcanic areas. The Solomon Islands are renowned for their vibrant coral reefs, diverse marine life, and excellent diving and snorkeling opportunities. The islands offer opportunities for ecotourism, including bird watching, mountain climbing, and rainforest exploration. The country's World War II history is a major attraction, especially in Guadalcanal, where battlefields, memorial, and sunken worship in Ironbound Sounds attract history buffs and divers. The best time to visit during the dry season is April to October, when conditions are ideal for diving, hiking, and island hopping. Tourism development. The Solomon Islands government recognized the potential of tourism to contribute to economic development and has implemented activities to promote sensible tourism practice. These include infrastructure development, improving the transportation infrastructure including airports and seaports to facilitate access to the islands. Community-based tourism. Supporting community-based tourism that promote local participation and benefit sharing. Environmental conservation. Encouraging environmentally responsible tourism practices to protect islands' natural resources. Challenges and opportunities. The first one is infrastructure constraints. Limited infrastructure, including transportation and accommodation, can hinder tourism development. The second one is environmental concern. The island's fragile ecosystem requires careful management to ensure sustainable tourism practices. And the last one is cultural sensitivity. Tourists must respect local customs and traditions to avoid cultural disruption. Economic benefits. Tourism can provide economic benefits for local communities, but careful planning is necessary to ensure that benefits are equitably distributed. Government and political system. Solomon Island is a constitutional monarchy with a parliamentary system of government and was adopted from British colonial rule when it gained independence in 1978. Solomon Islands is a parliamentary democracy and Commonwealth territory, which means it recognizes the British monarch King Charles III as the ceremonial head of state, who is represented locally by a Governor General appointed by Parliament for a 5-year term. Actual political authority raised with the elected government of government, headed by the Prime Minister, who serves as both head of government and chief executive. Solomon Islands operates under the parliamentary democracy system, in which political power is vested in a unicameral legislature known as the National Parliament, consisting of 50 elected members. General election must be held at least every 4 years, with voters directly electing with representatives through the electoral system. This elected leader then form a cabinet by appointing minister to oversee the various government departments. Both the Prime Minister and Cabinet Minister remain accountable to Parliament and can remove through the country existing no confidence motion. Political parties exist within the multi-party frameworks, although they tend to be weakly institutionalized and often organized around personalities or regional interests rather than strong ideological platforms. This weak party landscape usually results in coalition governments that must negotiate support from various functions. The absence of a dominant political party, combined with changing parliamentary alliance, has sometimes led to government instability, with some government being overthrown before completing their term. All adult citizens have the right to vote, participating in elections that determine the composition of the national and provincial governments. A distinctive feature of the legal system is the protection of customary land right, limiting foreign ownership while still allowing regulated rental arrangements. The political system continues to evolve along with the challenges faced in terms of government stability, economic development, and environmental sustainability. While democratic institutions remain robust, the government is working to strengthen political processes, improve service delivery, and respond to emerging issues such as climate change that particularly threaten this Pacific Islands nation.
Okay, so now we talk about education system in the Solomon Island. Education in the Solomon Island follows a system similar to Commonwealth countries, largely due to the influence of the British education system. Education begins with early childhood education, or ECE, which is non-formal and usually managed by communities or churches. Although not compulsory, ECE aims to prepare children aged 3 to 5 years before entering primary education. Primary education is compulsory and free for children aged 6 to 12 years, grades 1 to 6. After completing primary education, students can continue to secondary education, which is divided into 2 stages. The first stage is junior secondary, Form 1 to 3 for ages 13 to 15 years, while the second stage is senior secondary, Form 4 to 5 for ages 16 to 17 years. At the end of Form 5, students take the Solomon Island School Certificate, or SISC examination to determine graduation. Those wishing to pursue higher education can enter upper secondary, Form 6 to 7 to prepare for the Pacific Senior Secondary Certificate, or PSSC examination. And after that, students can continue to universities such as the Solomon Island National University, or SINU, or technical and vocational education institution such as the Solomon Island College of Higher Education, or SICHE. With a population of over 600,000, the Solomon Island consists of 6 major islands and more than 900 smaller islands. Although the government is working to improve access to education, several challenges
remain, such as limited infrastructure in rural areas, a lack of qualified teachers, gender disparities in secondary and higher education, and limited educational funding. To overcome this, the government collaborates with international organizations such as UNICEF, Australia, and New Zealand on teacher training programs and school facility development. Recent policies such as the Education Act 2023 aim to strengthen the education system by improving the quality of learning and equitable access. So now we move to international relation between Solomon Island and Indonesia. International relations between Solomon Island and Indonesia have experienced significant development since the two countries established diplomatic relations in 2010. Both countries are members of various multilateral forums that bring together their interests, such as the Pacific Island Forum and the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States. In these forums, the two countries often interact to discuss strategic issues such as climate change, sustainable development, and regional security. Solomon Island Prime Minister Jeremiah Manilis' visit to Indonesia marks an important step in strengthening bilateral relations. Solomon Island, for example, officially supports Indonesia's territorial integrity, including on the Papua issue, despite pressure from some civil society groups and Papuan pro-independence activists seeking to influence Solomon Island government policy. On the other hand, Indonesia is actively expanding its influence in the Pacific region through various initiatives, including development assistance programs and capacity building for small island states, one of which is the Solomon Island. Economically, trade relations between Indonesia and Solomon Islands are still limited but show potential to be developed. Solomon Island is known for its natural resources, especially in the fisheries and forestry sectors, while Indonesia is known as a country rich in natural resources. In recent years, both countries have made efforts to increase bilateral trade and investment. In addition to trade, Indonesia also provides technical assistance through South-South cooperation programs, including human resource training and capacity building in various sectors such as agriculture, health, and renewable energy. Security and climate change issues are also areas of cooperation between the two countries. Solomon Islands, as an archipelago highly vulnerable to the impact of climate change, has a significant interest in global mitigation and adaptation efforts. Indonesia, which also faces similar challenges, shares experiences and knowledge through regional forums. Looking ahead, the relationship between Indonesia and the Solomon Islands has the opportunity to grow stronger, especially with Indonesia's increasing attention to the Pacific region through a strategy known as Pacific Elevation.